Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Gay Stuff. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jess. Welcome to another Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday earworms for everyone that tunes in every Wednesday.
Oh, earworms.
Because you're onto it, you know? When people are onto it, it's like we're the first thing they think about on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah, but why earworms?
Because earworms are those things that are in your ears that make you like, I don't know, happy or funny or something. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know what it is, but I'll be it.
Maybe they're crazy about us.
Oh, maybe. I want to start this episode off by saying a massive, massive thank you to everybody who follows us, everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube, everybody who follows our socials, everyone who has rated us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. We've mentioned in a few episodes now how important that is and how it helps our show increase in views and becomes more visible to everyone looking for podcasts like us. So
yeah, I think I just want to throw out a quick reminder that we are still currently nominated for the Women in Podcasting Awards, which is super exciting. So you would have seen on all our socials the ways of how to vote for us. We'll be sure to leave that link in our show notes as well for this week's episode.
Yeah, Women in Podcasting Awards. Big thank you to everyone who has voted for us so far because we've had a few comments. So if you've voted, we absolutely adore you. We love you. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to vote, as Lauren said, we'll put all the information in the show notes, but it is already on our socials.
It sure is. All right, I'm not going to muck around with this.
You're not.
This one now.
But I do want to say before we start that this is, no, I'm not babbling. I'm not, I promise. I wanted to just say that the listeners will be happy with this episode because they've listened to me babble for the last two.
They're over you now.
So this episode is very Lauren-esque for all the Lauren fans out there.
Oh, hopefully there's a few.
Also, for anyone watching the video, Lauren's bringing this cardigan number to the table.
It's a bit fashion forward, we think.
It was just a regular cardigan that she decided it was too hot to wear. So now she's thrown it over the shoulders like a polo, but now it looks more like a towel. She's just come in from the beach.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought you meant it was just like a shower towel.
No, it looks like a beach towel.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, people might believe that in sunny Queensland, it's been a bloody 29-degree winter's day.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah. So lucky us because, as everyone knows, I fucking hate the cold. So
she does.
Bring on those hot winter days. I'm loving it.
All right. We're going to stop you talking for a bit now because
you're going to bring the heat in a different way.
I'm going to bring the heat with
I'm ready for it.
So this week, we're not mucking around. We're going to get stuck into it. And our listeners have asked, and they've asked us quite a few times now because it's been a little while and we have delivered. So this is Worst First Dates Volume 3, baby.
You knew there was another volume coming because we've had one, we've had two. This is the third installment, Worst First Dates. And let me tell you, Lauren hasn't read me any of these yet, so I'm settled in and I'm ready for some story time.
Oh, I'm glad. You literally just answered what I was going to say. Are you settled in? Are you ready to comf?
I am. I'm super comf. Is everyone saying comf now? I love that.
Are they? I think it's just me.
I thought it, like, I
don't know.
I've learned it from you.
Every time I say something, you're like, does that exist?
Yeah, well, comf can happen, Gretchen Wieners.
Okay, comf can happen. All right. Well, let's take comf and get a bit uncomfortable and go on this worst first date.
I'm just going to stay comf.
I met a girl on Tinder and asked her out at a gay bar. I was kind of on the fence about it because some of her pics were anime or whatever.
Nah, hate that.
What, the anime or on the fence?
No, I hate that people put so many filters on their pictures and then you never know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you. However, there are only 5 lesbians in this town, so take what you can get.
I don't know if that's the correct attitude to have.
She showed up with her best friend completely plastered.
Aww.
She said they had knocked back a couple of drinks before they came.
Couple of dozen.
Yeah. She didn't tell me she was bringing a friend, but it was okay because her friend was just going to sit at the bar.
Boring.
We chatted for a bit and I quickly realized we had nothing in common. Her friend then came back and she was even more blackout drunk than before. She wanted us to carry her all the way back to her apartment through the cold, which we tried to do, only for her to stop and throw up some bright blue liquid into the snow.
Yuck.
I didn't know the area, so I trusted both of them, only to realize that half an hour later, her friend and my date admitted they were lost and had no idea where the apartment was. I finally got the girls to my car and found their apartment and helped them up the stairs. Then my date said if I was going to come inside or if she was at least going to get a kiss goodbye. I said, hey, be sure to be safe out there, and left. But I think I also got mild hypothermia from walking around for 2 hours in the cold with no jacket.
Jesus. I don't know where to begin. Do you know, I think if you chatted for a while and you had zero in common, you probably should have just left it at that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought that ending was going to say?
What?
They finally told me that they were actually a couple looking for a third.
Well, that's what I thought it was going to happen, but no, it was just a couple of drunk best friends that went out. Like, look,
hitting the town too hard.
Hitting the town too hard. I understand
taking your friend to a date.
taking your friend with
Totally.
and being cautious because, you know, it's a brand new thing. It's a bar, whatever. I don't understand having no self-respect that you've plastered drunk without telling your date or without telling your date that you are bringing a friend to just be safe.
Yeah. Look, I understand not telling the date that you brought a friend, but the friend has to be discreetly there, not like walk in with you. That's a bit weird. And then I think the plastering thing, I know that people get nervous and they want that liquid courage and then they can get a bit too much.
Yeah, there's limits to it though, I think.
Yeah. Red flag. Dodged.
Red flags. Dodged a bullet.
Yep.
All right. This is a nice, short and sweet one. I was invited to a party, but my date didn't bother to mention that it was a BDSM party until after it had started.
Probably want to put that one on the invite, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. It was awkward and my date was already pretty drunk by the time I got there.
Oh, that's like one of those nightmare things where someone tells you it's a dress-up party, but it's not, and you come in like a rabbit costume.
Oh, yeah.
This is like this person was the only person without a costume.
Without the kinky costume. That first date reminded me of my mum's first date where she went to the nudist.
Oh, yeah.
Nudist meet.
What do we take away from this? Always have a gimp suit in the boot of your car.
Oh.
I
shit.
don't.
I was going to say, shit, we better stock up.
Does everyone know what a gimp suit is?
No, what is it?
Do you not even know what it is? Lauren, you agreed with me. You don't even know. A gimp suit is like, you know, in the very first season of American Horror Story?
Yeah.
The gimp suit is like that full latex black suit and they just have the holes unzippable.
Oh, no. I didn't know.
So now do you still want one in the boot of the car or not?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, we're loony.
How else am I going to burgle? I'm just kidding.
Next story.
All right, next story. I got super lonely and decided to try online dating.
Mm-hmm.
I met someone almost instantly and the conversation was great.
Same.
She asked me to hang out initially and I was hesitant because I was between jobs and didn't want to add any new stress to my life. But reluctantly, I agreed. I ended up driving to her place and eating pizza and listened to music and talked for about an hour. We did a puzzle and then the conversation got a bit stale. She basically told me that she was smart and that she hoped that it didn't intimidate me. It didn't. Her dog then took a shit in the middle of
She's hoping her intelligence didn't intimidate me. Her dog took a shit in the middle of the floor.
Her dog took a shit in the middle of the floor. I offered to help clean up and she told me that the dog always did that because she didn't like going outside. See, that part confuses me. I didn't know whether she meant the dog didn't like going outside or the person didn't like going outside.
Well, I hope she doesn't shit in the middle of the floor.
I went to leave and she very awkwardly opened the door and yelled at me to leave so that her dog wouldn't escape. After all that, she ghosted me. I took a long break from internet dating after that.
Oh, you're leaving? Well, hurry up and go so the dog doesn't get out. I can imagine that.
That's mental.
That's like when people leave our house and they're like, oh, just say goodbye to you inside. And I go, no, I'll walk you out. Make sure you leave.
Yeah, that's true. Make sure you actually go. This is a short and sweet one. I am bi. My date knew this, got talking, and then she said, well, at least you're not bi, in a tone making it clear exactly what she thought about bisexuals.
The biphobia strikes again.
This hurts me in my soul. The biphobia ones gets me. And I think the worst part is that she said my date knew this.
Do you know what it is? It's like this fear that someone that is open to multiple genders has more of a chance of leaving you because they are interested in so many more people per se. But at the end of the day, your person could leave you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't understand. Is that where biphobia comes from? Audience, listeners, is that where biphobia comes from? Because I understand the mindset, but I don't understand the fact that the bottom line is your person can leave you for anyone anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Next one. I went on a Tinder date with another girl and wound up bandaging a pretty big injury for her, which honestly wasn't a big deal. I'm already concerned that she had a big injury.
My first instinct was like, what, did you go skateboarding or something?
I thought it was sexual.
I'm like, something fun? And you were like, something really fun?
Yeah, something super fun. Which wasn't a big deal. And cuddling her whilst she vented to me about every bad thing that had ever happened to her.
Oh, no.
On a first date?
Not a negative Nancy.
A negative Nancy on a first date?
Nah, can't deal. Not negative Nancy's. No. Is it negative Nancy and Debbie Downer?
Yeah.
They're best friends.
They are.
They are.
Because you can't have a Debbie Downer without a negative Nancy.
No, that's right. And positive Polly is not friends with either of them.
No.
Because positive Polly know not to keep negative people around.
That's true. Positive Polly know not to keep We delulu.
That was very gangster of me, wasn't it?
It was.
Positive Polly know not to keep negative Nancy around.
Yeah, calm down. All right, back to this story. She also asked me for $50 and took one of her pet tarantulas out of its cage, even though I said I wasn't comfortable with that. I told her the next day that we should just be friends, and she invited me as friends to an orgy.
No.
You got no words?
No.
No words? You don't want to break it down?
No. Pet tarantula? Nah.
Orgy?
Friendly orgy? I mean, whatever you're into, but the tarantula really...
The tarantula got you.
It took me to a place which was not positive. Polly.
God, no. Positive Polly. This story happens to be this person's first lesbian date.
Oh, and it's a bad one.
Yeah.
It's going to leave a sour taste in her mouth. No, there are good ones out there. Don't worry.
Promise.
Don't worry.
Met a woman online and we hit it off pretty well. She was cute and we had similar interests. We were dorks of the highest order. Ah, shame.
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 Not shame. Same.
Not even 1 week online and she wants me to travel to not only see her, but to stay with her. Thought that was way too fast for my taste.
She only thinks that because that's her first lesbian date.
Yeah,
to everyone else, that's really normal.
That was normal, yeah. And then she drops a bombshell that she is married.
No.
To a guy.
No.
It gets worse.
No.
Who she repeatedly tried to convince me to have a threesome with, despite my constant refusals.
Nah.
Respect, peoples.
This is consent as well.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about consent in the way of touching someone without consent. What about consent in the way of believing somebody when they say they're not into something?
Yeah, exactly. It's don't keep pestering someone.
If you have to try and convince someone that something is a good idea, they never wanted to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Well, you thought it was bad then.
Okay.
It goes a bit further than that. She then has the guy, her husband or whomever, talk to me and he threatens to hurt me if I ever broke up with her. They weren't even together yet. Like they had only just started. Yeah, gone on one date.
Jesus.
She said that him and her got married because they were best friends and it was better than being alone.
Oh, right. So they're not really together.
No.
They did that. If we're still alone by the time we're 35, we're going to marry each other.
Then she tries to get me to cut off contact with my family because she was jealous of any of the attention I gave to the others.
Nah, red flag.
Family included.
Nah, red flag.
And then she says, yeah, so that didn't last beyond a week. And even though this happened a few years back, I'm still weirded out by it now.
Yeah, I would be for sure. That's hectic.
There's a lot to unpack in that one.
Yeah, it was.
Like Jess said, the number one thing coming out of that is consent.
Yeah. Why is that such a big deal for people?
I don't know why people can't just respect that, really.
Yeah. We shouldn't have to continue to say it, but no is no. And like I said before, if you're trying to convince somebody that something is a good idea, they never wanted to do it in the first place.
I think that's the thing that people forget, that no is no. No doesn't mean convince me or change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. We had been e-friends for a while. We had made plans to hang out multiple times, but she always flaked.
Do you know what? The beginning of this episode, I was just thinking to myself, we need a catfish. We need a catfish story.
Well, hopefully this is it. I don't know. She finally came through. Oh, sorry, not a catfish story.
Instant disappointment.
She finally came through, but she was sick. She later told me she was going to cancel again, but since she had cancelled so many times, she thought that she shouldn't. We decided on something simple, a movie and maybe dinner. She was over an hour late. We missed the latest showing for the movie she chose at the theatre I picked, so I had to pay $20 for our cab to another more expensive theatre that still had showings. We made it just in time. Had to sit in the front row, which everyone knows are the weakest seats. Mm-hmm. About 30 minutes into the movie, she starts puking her life away right there in the theatre.
Oh no, poor girl.
I take her up to the bathroom and help her get cleaned up and start to go back upstairs, thinking we're done for the night because clearly unwell. Nope, she wants to watch the rest of the movie, and we do. She threw up 2 more times. After the movie that I barely got to watch, we headed to Burger King since the place I wanted to go was closed. I wasn't even hungry at this point. I was just ready to get it all over with. So she got her food, ate some of it, and then walked her to the train station. I lived relatively close to where we were. I told her to text me when she got home. She did. I replied, "Feel better, good night." And that's the last thing I ever said to her. She hit me up a couple more times, but yeah, nope. I haven't been on a date since that. And that was in 2010.
Wow. So you like what's the word? You abstained. You abstained from dating for like another, 14 years?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why? I feel sorry for the girl.
Yeah, I feel sorry for her.
She didn't want to make you think it was a catfish situation, so she showed up even though she was sick to make you feel good. I think she tried her best to make the date work.
Yeah, that was a sad one. I don't think that was really a bad.
I mean, I can see why the date was bad.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the shocking thing of like they're married or this or that. Or,
I think it was just unfortunate that she felt really sick.
Yeah, it was sad. Okay, this one is, I spent an entire day with a friend of mine that I finally got the courage to ask out. They were so sweet and wonderful the whole day. I was able to talk to them about everything from little stupid jokes to helping them with some family issues they were struggling with. We had a fantastic lunch and dinner together and walked around most of our cities downtown in the process, ending with a long time spent talking on the park bench where we both clearly were about to kiss the other person but didn't.
Okay.
Confused.
Okay.
That night, they called me at 2 a.m. to tell me that they had already pretty much made up their mind to get back together with their ex and only kept the date to be nice to make sure that I wasn't so good it was worth changing at the last moment, then got mad at me when I was somehow upset by this.
Oh, that's like, do you know what that person just did? That person went, I'm going to just give this person a shot to make sure they cement that there's no better offer, so I'll go back to my ex.
Yeah, that's sad and that's not on.
That's shitty.
That's really shitty.
Ugh.
All right,
shitty.
This one starts with, I got emotionally catfished. So I don't know if it's necessarily the catfish, but it's emotionally catfished.
Can I quickly say to any listeners, have you ever been catfished? And if you have, can you send those stories in? Lauren's been catfished.
I have.
Have you told that story on here?
I did on our
Worst First Dates Volume 1. Okay. Because I was like, if you haven't, tell it.
No, I did.
Can't remember anymore. That was like 30 episodes ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. All right, this one. I got emotionally catfished by a girl, I guess.
I guess.
Question mark.
Well, I mean, that's true. She doesn't know, or this person doesn't know.
We met online and instantly clicked. She was bubbly, this funny, honest, and used
Turns out, nah.
honest and used a lot of emoticons. She asked me to meet her at a coffee place, and it's not until I get there that I realize it's a drive-through only. Weird.
She works there.
Yeah. I buy myself a drink and offer her one, but she denies the offer, explaining that she hates coffee once again. Her idea. Oh, wait, so they met each other, okay. We walk through a nearby park and it's immediately obvious that we have no chemistry. I spend the whole walk asking her questions and trying to salvage things, but she only responds with 1 or 2 word answers and seems to be mixing me up with other people she's met online.
Oh. No. She's
a serial dater.
She's a serial dater.
Yeah. I don't think she laughed at a single one of my jokes, not even a pity chuckle. She just looked a little confused.
No, you can't date someone who won't even give you a pity chuckle.
Yeah.
You can't date someone who won't even give you the breath out the nose.
Yeah,
like
literally.
You can't even get the...
Yeah. Apparently she had gotten a lift to the date, so I offered to drive her home. A few minutes into the drive, she tells me to pull over in the parking lot of her old school.
Why?
I don't know. I oblige and she unbuckles to face me and doesn't say much of anything. I am left to assume that this was her play to make out with me. It was painfully awkward and I continued to make my one-sided small talk and comment on time until she apparently got the hint and continued directing me to her place. There was no kiss goodnight. I was prepared to chalk it up to nerves, but the strangest part was that she texted me later that same day saying about how much fun we had.
And this person's like, not me.
Then she was right back to texting me all cute and bubbly. I think she actually spoke to me more over text than anything. Not the best story, but I think that's what made it my worst date. I didn't get a funny anecdote from it.
I'm glad you said goodnight because I pictured this story as like in the daytime because they were going for coffee.
Yeah.
And then I just pictured them being in the school with all these kids around them. And she said that she thought it was going to be a makeout spot. And I'm like, what, with all the kids there? That's weird.
All right, I think maybe we have time for one or two more.
Yeah, I think we have time for two more.
All right, okay, let's go. I went on 3 dates with this one girl.
Okay.
At least I gave it a shot.
You were giving her chances.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had been talking for a while and I thought she was really into me. The first date was really simple. Movies with dinner, which we did at her house because we were broke and honestly it was nice. No awkwardness, convo really flowed and we really clicked.
It's a good start.
Good start, yeah. Second date started as a not date. We were hanging out when I asked her out on it. Gotcha.
Oh, I see. So they were just hanging as friends.
Yeah, and then they were like,
became a date. Okay, yeah.
We've done that.
We've done that a lot. We're still doing that.
Yeah. We picked a time and place, like actual going out date, but before we parted, my friends came along because most of my friends are couples. I'm not the only single one. We do this thing called mega group date where we do fun shit as a group, but it counts as a date night for the couples. Well, they started talking and she invites herself to join, as in, oh, we're going to laser tag. And she's like, oh, that's fun. I'm in.
Oh, cool. Okay, so she's rolling with you and your friends because I was a bit concerned when you have like a mega date night with all these people and you've only just met this person.
Yeah.
That's a lot for someone to come into.
Yeah, it is. After a few awkward minutes, we go, and in my opinion, the date went decent. It's hard coming into a friend group, but doable.
Yeah.
Well, the next day I got text upon text about how my friends are weird and she doesn't want to hang with them anymore.
She literally told them she'd go to laser tag.
Yeah.
Why invite yourself along if you don't like them?
I don't know. Third date was a family thing for her that she didn't tell me about before I got there. Long story short, I spilled potato salad on her grandma. Her blind uncle tried to steal my clothes. Her cousin shit in the middle of the floor. He was 15. Her mum disowned the family 6 times. Her lawyer notary was there, so it was sort of legal each time. Her aunt made a presentation of why gay women live longer. Her father refused to speak English because there was a no potato salad. And the dog almost drowned in a puddle. Yeah, my friends are fun weird. That family was just a shit show.
Fucking hell. Maybe her friends were too normal.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
I don't know how to top that.
God.
Oh my god.
It's a lot to take in.
That was a lot to take in.
I love the first line. She spilled potato salad on her grandma. My granddad loved that if someone spilled potato salad on her.
She would. I was going to use that one as the last story, but I'll finish off with this one.
Okay.
Potato salad on her grandma. So lucky, I'm pretty sure she will never read this because she doesn't use social media. Yeah, I think in brackets just in case to be sure.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to Just Gay Stuff podcast either.
Although they do say, and she is actually one of my good friends now.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I think it's good when you can have kind of awkward dates with people, but they end up a part of your weird circle.
Yeah. So it says, firstly, let's just start with that it wasn't specifically a date. For backstory, she liked me. I wasn't into it, but couldn't keep it in my pants. I was a shitty teenager.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there, I think.
Speak for yourself.
You told me a story once where you went on a date with someone and you just wanted some...
That's true. I did. I did. I forgot that I told that story and
You didn't tell it on the podcast, but you told it to me.
It took me a second. I was like, oh. All right. So we're going to Pride with her friends. This was my first Pride that wasn't close to my city. I was psyched and ready to party. I was underage, 17, I think.
Ooh.
Legal drinking age was 18, but she was supplying us with the alcohol. In UK, it's perfectly normal for like teenagers to have been getting drunk for many years. So basically this wasn't my first time on alcohol or anything.
Well, for anyone who is international and you're listening to an Australian podcast, that is a hefty fine out here.
Yeah. Anyway, we're all having fun. There was about 6 to 8 of us just drinking and dancing and just generally being our happy gay selves. Oh, cute.
I love being my happy gay self.
Same. Then this girl drinks way too much. Way.
Oh, did you hear that growl?
I did. Way. So she's wearing this pride flag as a cape.
Yeah, like all the gays do.
Pride flags painted on her face and she sat on the floor crying, screaming, "But I fucking love you," at me. And I'm like, what is happening? And everything just goes wrong. Despite not loving this girl, I still cared about her, so did the normal ritual when dealing with a drunk person and gave them water, calming them down, etc. And finally she sobered up and became less emotional. A little later on, I ended up sleeping with another one of her friends.
Oh no. Lesby shark.
Lesby
shark right here.
She still doesn't know about that part to this day. Well, I hope she doesn't listen to this because she was about to.
Oh.
She still doesn't know about this part till this day. It wouldn't make a difference at this point because she's in a happy relationship, but it's just a respect kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't want to rub salt in the wound. I was such an asshole at that age. I really was, but can't change it, so I guess I'll own it.
Yeah. Well, at least you're owning your shit.
I like that was a good one to end on because we all do dumb shit when we're drunk and inhibitions
We
go
all
out.
do dumb shit when we're younger.
Well, that too, inhibitions go out the window, but I like the fact that you're able to own it.
Do you know also, if we were all judged by who we were growing up and finding ourselves, I don't think anyone now would like us.
No.
I feel that way about myself,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to admit that.
Yeah.
I did some pretty dumb shit.
We've had those conversations
I hurt
before
some-
and
I hurt some feelings.
and there's stuff that, yeah, you've told me where I'm like, I wouldn't have liked you very much if that you were still that person.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But we all learn and we all grow, and I think that's the important thing. And that person, it's very commendable that they can look back on their time and go, man, I made some shitty choices.
Yeah, I think that's what I liked. Often we do read the shitty first dates, but we don't often get to read those kinds of ones where they were the culprit of creating said worst first date.
Yeah.
So, like we said, it's great and commendable that they're able to own their truths that way.
I want to actually end on a little story from my life.
Oh,
Only because that kind of sparked
yeah.
something that
please
happened.
do.
So I had this friend once, and her best friend was in love with this girl that they'd known for ages.
Yeah.
And then my friend slept with her behind her best friend's back, and her best friend still does not know to this day.
Really?
And I think
Wow.
that is like such an ultimate betrayal.
That is.
Especially
yeah.
for your best friend. Like, what a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, no.
And
that's
it's like,
terrible.
it was one of those things where they didn't even like each other. It was like, oh, I'm just going to do it because I can.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
It was bad
That's
because
painful.
my friend at the time actually liked someone else. So she shouldn't have slept with this girl anyway. And especially knowing that her best friend was in love with her.
Yeah, that's such disrespect to all parties involved.
I know. So
Get out of town. Well, yeah, that was a hard-hitting one to end on, but I think
Yeah.
that's where we'll end because you guys have kept the weird worst first dates flowing.
I love weird first dates.
Me too.
Worst first dates.
It's been great, and I hope that you guys keep writing into us. And
Keep writing in, please, and keep following us on socials. Please keep rating us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts because it means a lot to us.
it does.
And if you haven't voted for us in Women's in Podcasting, that ends in October. So you've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your whatever day it is that you're listening to us.
Yeah, and you can listen to us all the time.
Yeah, it's so true. All right. Well, until next week, I suppose you better
Remember to
stay gay, motherfuckers.
I'm talking about, you're talking about, we're talking about just gay stuff.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Just Gay Stuff. Make sure to follow us at Just Gay Stuff Podcast on all your socials and write to us with your stories at justgaystuffpodcast@gmail.com.